Hey, good Saturday morning, everybody. Welcome back to the Weather Nerds YouTube channel. I'm your host, meteorologist Greg Majeski, your trusted weather source here, your no nonsense, no hype machine here, just to give you the facts to keep you prepared and not scared. That's our motto here. Hey, if you're coming to this broadcast after the live version of this, and if you could please help consider subscribing to our channel, help our little channel out, I would appreciate it. Go hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you're alerted on future content. And as always, if you have a weather-related question, please post it down below. Give me a thumbs up. It does help with that thing called the YouTube algorithm, which don't really love us all that much because we're kind of small. But anyway, let's go ahead and get into the output. I'm going to tell you guys, it is going to be an extremely challenging forecast ahead. It's a very rare setup that we're seeing here in the Atlantic that's starting to develop. And I'm going to tell you, if there's anybody out there in the YouTube world or any meteorologist that they know exactly what's going to happen with this, they're lying to you, or they're just trying to scare you, or they're going to try to pull you which way of the sun. We really don't know. This thing is very complicated. It doesn't happen very often, so it's very rare to see when you've got two tropical systems in the same sphere of influence. And we've got three different scenarios that we're basically looking at watching with the system. We're going to break that all down here for you right now. Now, Umberto, as I was saying a couple days ago, I said I think this thing's going to become a major hurricane, Cat 4, and it may make a run at Cat 5 in the next 24 hours. We'll see what happens with this thing right now. As we go into this, we're going to look at that storm first. So let's go ahead and break down that. Let me get out of my studio mode here, and we'll go take a look again. Here is your satellite imagery out here right now. Nice eye, nice symmetrical on this. This is a very compact storm. The winds only go on about 20. Hurricane force winds only go 25 miles from the center. Tropical storm force winds 105 miles from the center. So very, almost a clone of Erin. Very, very similar. Almost in the same general area as well. It's a little bit further north, but looking very healthy indeed. It's very symmetrical, very tight. Now, once the eye wall goes through a replacement cycle or it collapses, I think it'll grow in size, and that's important. Right now, the scale of this thing being as compact and tight as it is, its influence on what will become Imelda is probably fairly low. But if Umberto grows in size, what happens is that its outflow, it's the bigger of the two storms, will disrupt the other system. Because, you know, we tell you one thing that tropical systems they like very warm water, which we got, but they don't like wind shear. And basically the wind shear from Umberto will disrupt Imelda from being able to feed off on that. So that's going to be, that's why that's a little bit of a problem. So let's go take a look at the closer look here. I'm looking at again, the sun's just coming up out here. So we're just kind of getting that in. You see the very healthy looking at, very symmetrical, nice, what's called CDO, central dense overcast here. Nice symmetrical looking look, got a good outflow here. So again, it's a big chimney. The warm air is coming into the surface and evacuating right out the top. Very nice looking, strong storm. Pressure's down to 938. We'll see with the Hurricane Hunter aircraft going out there this morning to see if that pressure will fall any further. It might. Right now, the official track and forecast for this is to become a Category 5 up to 160 mile per hour winds within the next 24 hours. So we'll see if it makes a run at that right there. There's the forecast track. Looks like it's going to stay just off toward the east of Bermuda, but it does put Bermuda on the right side of that storm, which, of course, the right side of a hurricane is always the worst side as it goes by there. So, again, not an influence on the continental United States. You might say, well, okay, if it's not going to hit the United States, why is it a big deal? Because its influence on the other storm, which is going to be closer to the United States. That's why it's a very much a symbiotic relationship between these two storms, how this thing develops. Okay, so here's the other storm here, which will become Imelda. Right now, it's potential tropical cyclone number 9. I hate that designation. The Hurricane Center went to that last year. I'm not a fan of it. It's either depression or not. Don't just call it a potential tropical. I think it confuses people. But anyway, I digress. Anyway, so we're expecting this thing to become Imelda probably by tomorrow. I think we'll have that as a tropical storm, and we'll see how it goes up. I'm also going to show you the difference between two different models here. We're going to look at the NAM model, the North American model, which is gridded over the United States, and then the European model, which is a global model. I want to show you the difference between the two models, and I want to explain why there's such a big difference between the two. But I'm going to show you that here in a second. All right, so we'll go get into the model data here in a second. We already got the tropical storm warnings up here. You kind of see that out there right now already with the blue out there right now with over the islands. So they're expecting those tropical storm force winds in there. So all these islands are going to see all that problem out there. Oh, my pin's not working, but on that one. But I'll come back to that later. But you see it, and it's going to track parallel to the coast. Now, The NAM model actually brings it closer to the Florida coast, which is a little scary. But the official track is off toward the west. But the sea conditions are going to go downhill all up and down. Florida, Georgia, the Carolinas, rip currents are going to be a problem. It's going to go all the way up the sea. So you notice what this thing does is it goes up the coast and then it basically makes a right turn. So it does makes a right turn. So we've got 3 different scenarios with this with the model data. Okay, Umberto will take the system and yank it on out. There's scenario 1. Scenario 2 is it just sits here and kind of stalls out for a little bit. Scenario 3 takes it back over this way. So, I mean, yesterday the models were trending more toward the west, bringing it inland, where Umberto's influence was not as strong. Overnight Europeans said, we're going to bring it back this way. So again, model-to-model run consistency, not there. Now, what's going to happen here today, it started yesterday, they're going to do it again today. They're going to have 2 Hurricane Hunter aircraft out there doing both storms. They're going to be doing additional balloon launches across the southeast from the Weather Service offices to get an idea, get a picture of what the conditions are out there. Okay, so this is a very complex setup. We got 2 storms interacting with each other. We got high pressure building up to the north into the northeast coming into early next week. So again, the timing is critical. The size of the storms are critical. It's going to be an hour by hour and a day by day approach. So I plan on doing another one of these later today after 5 o'clock, just so you know, so you can keep up on what's going on out there. Again, we're dealing with very warm waters out there in the Atlantic. We're running above the normal. This black line's your average right there. We're not quite as bad as last year as far as the warmth out there, but it is looking pretty warm out there as far as the latent heat. And if you hear somebody working in my outside, I apologize for that. So somebody doing the yard work outside this morning. So anyway, let's go ahead and look at the model data. First, I want to look at the ECENS model here. Okay, so this is the European different model runs here. Very clear what happens with the storm here. You see that making a right turn here, going on out. That's Umberto, gone. But look at this. You see this? It's we got some bringing it into the Carolinas, bringing it back to the left, some going back out to sea. I really don't know. My gut tells me it stays out to sea and goes to the right, but I'm not hanging my hat on that just yet because again it's going to be a snapshot in time. Okay, how big is Umberto? Is it continue to be small? Does it weaken? Does Imelda take over as the dominant storm? Humberto probably will stay the dominant storm, but you never know. But again, it is a lot of factors to figure in here. That's just going to give, like I said, us forecasters a headache. All right, now I'm going to show you here first. I'm going to show you the model data. I'm going to show you the intermediate model, the NAM model here. Okay, now this model is a grid. It's a snapshot picture of what's going on over the United States. It's not a global model, which means it doesn't see Umberto out there further off the grid. So when you look at this model, you notice it kind of cuts off right here. It doesn't see what's going on off to the right. So as a result of that, I like to show this as an illustration. This model, and I'm comparing 0Z run to 0Z run, it takes this thing through the Bahamas, which is very, very warm, very hot, shallow, strengthens this thing into a big-time hurricane, brings it down to 943 millibars there at the end of the run, and it's fairly close to the coastline there. Takes down to 943. So it's saying, I don't see Umberto out there, so it's going to blow up into a big hurricane, very warm water, got good outflow, it's going to become a dominant storm. European model goes, not so fast, not so fast. Let's look at the European model run here. And the European model says, no, Umberto outflow is going to really disrupt this thing. This thing's going to struggle to get going. In fact, the European basically says, you're maybe a tropical storm. Doesn't really do much with it. Notice when it gets to this position here. Look at this here. We'll look at these lines of equal pressure in here. You see that kind of connection between these two storms, between the two of them. They become connected. And when they do, look what happens when Umberto takes off. It literally rips the storm apart. See that? It literally rips the core, the upper level and lower level just rip apart. And the surface low kind of drifts off to the south. But it literally gets torn apart by Umberto as it exits on out. All right, so that's the European model. But again, yesterday the European model was not showing that. It was showing it making a left turn, kind of going into Georgia. So again, that model consistency is not there right now. So we're going to get a tremendous amount of data that's going to be coming into the models to kind of see what happens with either one of these storms. So it's definitely becoming a day by day and hour by hour type scenario here where we're going to watch. And it's going to be these cameras here that I'll be watching here. Obviously, the Turks and Caicos down there, they'll be the first to get impacted there along the coast out there in the Bahamas, Wilmington Beach, heading up North Carolina, Jacksonville, Florida, Myrtle Beach. All these areas are going to be seeing their surf conditions go downhill through the weekend and into early next week. So if we do get a landfalling storm along the Carolina coast, we're talking probably Tuesday or Wednesday, the way things are looking right now. We'll see what happens with this thing as it goes on. What I'm going to be watching with interest today is I want to be watching closely to see Umberto. I want to see if it does make a run at Cat 5 as Aaron did earlier in the season, and to see what the forecast specifically is as far as the scale and scope, the overall size of the storm, which is very compact now. Where is it going to be 2 days from now? My guess, if it follows the traditional mode when it comes to these tropical systems, when you get a compact storm like this, when it goes through the eye wall replacement cycle and the winds kind of let out a little bit, it's going to spread out. It's going to grow in size. So as this thing grows in size, the bigger it gets, the more disruptive it'll be on Imelda. If it doesn't do that, if it holds longer than it should, it goes off and Imelda gets ready to get going, it'll have a better chance of being either stuck off the coastline or kind of drift inland. So again, 3 different scenarios, 3 different things to watch. And it's going to be something we're going to have to watch all weekend long. So if you like to get these updates, and like I said, I'm going to give it to you straight, give it to you forward, let you prepare if you're anywhere along the Carolina coastline or Florida coastline or even into Georgia. I got a lot of guys watching, I know, from Georgia. Again, just kind of just tune it in here and make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, because when I do the update or I do these live, that you get it on there. Now, if we are going to get a landfalling event, we will be covering the event live. I'll be simulcasting here on the Weather Nerds YouTube channel, as well as my local audience there in the North Georgia area on the Majestic Weather Facebook page. So we'll be simulcasting on both channels there as we watch how this storm progresses, especially, again, number 9. We're going to be watching Imelda. That's who we're going to be watching there. Umberto, it's got skin in the game, so we got to watch both of them, and it's going to be a little bit fun to watch. All right, who we got there this morning? Edith, good to see you out there this morning. Good to see you on our update. Again, like I told you, we'll be doing a rebranding here on the station here pretty soon to kind of get things going. The YouTube algorithm has gone through a change yet again, and we're pretty much we've been pecked down so far on the pecking order now. We really don't get much of an audience anymore, so. I will probably be investing a little money into advertising again here pretty soon. I'm starting to make some money on my other page, so I'll try to give this page a little more love and see if we can try to help get the YouTube algorithm to pick us back up again, because it has definitely dropped us off. But we'll do the best we can. All right, you guys take it easy, be good, stay safe, and we'll see you again another afternoon update, probably around 5:30 or so. I got some things to do with the family today. We're going to go get our big pumpkin for the yard, and we'll be back after. I'll have the 5 o'clock update and conditions for you guys at that time. We'll have all the 12Z data, all the data from the Hurricane Hunter aircraft will be coming into the 12Z data here today, so we'll get a better idea of what's going on with both these systems. All right, that's it. You guys take it easy, be good, stay safe, and we'll see you later today. You guys have a great